Hello and welcome back to MLB The Show 18 and the Jason Parham Road to the Show. I'm Tyrant Saber. Last time out, Jason pitched angrily against the Tigers in Comerica Park in Detroit, and it worked for him initially, collecting 10 strikeouts, but then it kind of didn't, allowing 3 solo home runs on 6 hits and eventually taking the loss in 6 innings. So clearly, he kind of got his temper, let his temper get the best of him, and I kind of figured out why at last. It seems that a certain teammate of his posted a certain video on a certain video hosting site that made fun of his hair care routine, and apparently Jason didn't take too well to it. So, Jason, what are you doing? Jason, no, don't do it. Think of what you're doing. Oh, Jason, you mad bastard. Here's hoping you don't regret this. Okay, that out of the way, let's keep going. Bullpen day, what do we got? Slider velocity and K for 9, okay. Circle control, slider break. Caps on 12-6. Distance throwing, don't care. Power, don't care. We're at our cap on pitching clutch, so we need to worry about that sooner or later. None of that really interests me, so I guess what I'll do... I don't know what I'll do. None of this really appeals to me, so I guess I'll work on slider velocity. That seems to be the thing that's giving me the most results out of this one. So I guess we'll keep going. Okay, it looks like Jason is going to be pitching against the Minnesota Twins in Fenway. Now, Jason has pitched against the Twins only twice before. Split decision, 1-1 record. He has a 3.86 ERA and a 2.76 WOBA. So you remember this guys have been feast or famine against Jason. He originally got hit for like 6 runs in 5 1/3 innings the first time around in Target Field. And then he no-hit them on 100 pitches and nearly collected himself a he didn't no-hit him, but he nearly collected a Maddox. He got a 100-pitch complete game shutout of them. So clearly having good stuff against him from time to time, but we'd rather have more outcomes like the second than the first. But there's nothing to it but to do it, so let's get out here and get it.
Folks filing into Fenway Park here in Boston on a fine Thursday evening for baseball. Tonight, the first of this 4-game weekend set between the Minnesota Twins and the Boston Red Sox. Number 11 looks to keep up the pace in the AL batting title race right after this. Jason Parham will be the starter for the Bo Sox in this contest. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, I'm really excited to watch this guy in this one. He's strung together a solid season up to this point. ERA in the low 2s, and that's not an easy thing to do in this day and age of high-scoring games and home runs and teams filled with guys that get hit throughout the lineup. This is a really good pitcher.
Now at the plate, Zach Granite, and we are set for baseball here this evening.
Well, it seems like the Twins have kind of a new look offense out here, because I've got 4 people on this lineup that Jason has not faced at all. So see what they can do out here in Fenway. Let's get it.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. First of this
swing and a miss on a 2-seamer down for strike 1.
Pitch is swung on and missed for the first strike. Guys, this Red Sox ball club entering play here tonight. 4-2 over their last 6 games, including a win last time out.
Yeah, Matty V, and you know what, D-Row, now I guess it's time where you push that go button. You're getting a little sense of urgency. They find themselves in 3rd place, and if they want to be part of the
grounder foul, and it looked like he was late on it, so
get going pronto.
I think the thing to do is now a high fastball, perhaps.
Any identity for themselves. They're going to have to find a way to get on a roll, offensively or pitch better.
Just about got the corner, no swing.
Moves to a ball and 2 strikes now. Temperature here at game time, a comfortable 75 degrees tonight.
Now the calls for a circle change, low outside part of the plate. Let's do it.
Set to deal on a ball and 2 strikes. 2-2.
Oh,
wow, that was a close pitch.
Umpire not giving me any help on that
now
one.
2-2, but boy, that one very easily could have been called strike 3. Really close pitch.
So let's try 2-seamer on the low outside corner. Strike 3 called. That one's a strikeout. And Zach Granite can go have a seat and get
the Minnesota Twins starting lineup. Dan, who do we keep an eye on?
Well, Matt, they have to be very happy so far with the performance they're getting out of that guy in the 8th spot. I mean, this guy is a career 300 hitter. You talk about consistent. He delivers a good at-bat, clutch hits basically every time he walks into the box. I love watching this guy.
Here's Echeverria now, and he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. Hit on the ground.
Rounder over the short. That's Adam Frazier over there. Pulls it in. Sends it over to Derek Dietrich, and that'll be the first out, or the second out, excuse me. Infield, or the fielders are the usual suspects for the most part. We got a couple of new faces here. We got behind the plate, we got Mr. Maxwell Belliard as catcher. And at second base, we have James Vincent. And I'm not sure what Blake Swihart or Tony, I think Tony Kemp actually busted himself. I think he's got a broken hip or something. So he'll be out for a while.
First delivery to him on the way. There's a strike.
Cutter up, gets no swing.
That's a tough pitch to take right there, right down the middle. But I think that happens when you're facing a good pitcher like this guy. The last thing you're expecting is one down. Right down the pipe, and unfortunately,
and then second base, yeah, a guy named James Vincent. I'm not sure what's up with our usual utility infielder, Raul Mondesi. I'm not sure where he's at.
Yeah, Matty, we got a good one behind the dish today in Ed Drummond. Well liked by all people.
No
pitchers,
swing
batters,
on the changeup outside. That makes it 2-1.
Is the ability to
so call is for an inside two-seamer.
That's what Ed does. He gives you that chance.
Zero, you hit a nail right on the head. He
Give
has
it a try.
Real long fuse. He's not afraid to let a hitter or a
grounder
pitcher,
to second. Mr. James Vincent gets it over to first, but on a wild throw, pulls the fielder off the bag, and that will be counted as an infield hit. Even though, by all rights, that probably should be an error.
He'll get to take his first cuts here.
So that'll bring up Keith Gifford, the designated hitter for the Twins, at rookie.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. There's a knee-high pitch that catches the zone. Kessler leads off first with a pair of outs in the inning. He's running. And this
got a runner. Jason throws it, and it bounces in the dirt and bounces away from Belliard behind the dish. So that'll be Gifford over to first, or excuse me, over to second with one away or two away. Golly, having trouble with the places here, even more so than usual.
Good lead off his second there. Now the pitch.
Two-seamer outside gets no swing, and Gifford's at 1-2. Calls for a high outside two-seamer on the corner. Try to hit the spot.
Fouled away.
It's above the zone, and Gifford is a little bit early on it. So I think what we'll do is we'll use a little showtime with that circle change. Put it right on the corner. See if he swings. He does, and he gets a piece of it. So let's try and cutter inside.
Very weakly on the
fouls
ground.
That off. 16-pitch first inning, so these Twins are really battling against him.
He is calibrating that heater and the off speed.
But he gets frozen on the 12-6 curveball. Goes down on strikes, and that will end the inning.
For Minnesota. Now the Red Sox will get their shot. No score. Striding in for his first at-bat, Mitch Garver. And he's a guy that's really scuffling at the plate right now.
Boston gets nothing done in the bottom of the first, so we go into the top two with Mitch Garver at the plate. Let's get it.
First offering on its way.
Cutter down is the first pitch. He twitches at it, but no swing. Call now inside at two-seamer. Put it on the black if we can.
A ball and a strike.
Right there on the corner, no swing. Just off it, actually. So that was a good call. Try a two-seamer low and away. Bounces through the gap into right field, and that'll be a base hit for Mitch Garver. Man on first with no one away.
Now at the plate, Patrick Kivlahan.
Batting six, right fielder,
That's a good appearance for Garver, too, because in 3 plate appearances prior to that, he had collected himself 3 strikeouts against Jason. So, adds a base hit to that hat.
Nothing pitch. And a fastball just a bit up.
Hey, no outs here. Nobody on.
Hey, needs you right here. One time. Let's go.
Hey, let her rip. One time. Hey, get a good one.
Now the 1-1 pitch. A ball
Okay.
and 2 strikes
Patrick
down.
Kivlehan here at the dish.
A runner at first.
Swinging
with no
free
outs.
on those 3 consecutive fastballs. Let's give him a Showtime slider down and away, see what he can do with it.
And
Grounds it over to first,
Could be 2.
gets it
One
over
there.
to second,
On to
and the
first,
double
and they
play
get
is
the
in
double
order.
play.
Not bad.
That's one of the hardest double plays to turn right there because of the difficult throw the first baseman has to make. No problem this time, though, and they get the 2 outs they were looking for.
So it's Dietrich to Garver, or excuse me, Dietrich to Frazier to Dietrich, and that's 2 away in the second. Back to bases empty. And that'll bring up Steve Selski.
Steve Selski will bat next. As he'll go after the first
Taps a
pitch.
change
and
up
bounce it into
down for
foul
the first
territory.
strike.
And he's a guy looking to break out in a big way.
Up and in
Hasn't been
fastball,
getting
it's
the
called.
results he or his club have been hoping for. The 0-1 on
Try to
its
put
way.
it a little on the inner third.
And he fouls
Winds
this
up
one
being
off.
right in the zone, but that's fine. Try another slider down and away.
1-1.
He swats it, but it is going to be a fair ball into left field. Puig's got it out there by the foul line. That'll be a base hit for Steve Selski, man on first with 2 away.
Right along that fence, but one thing that gets me jacked up is watching guys grind down in the count and drive base hits the other way.
Into the box now.
So I may have talked about it a little bit on stream because it's been more topical while I was on stream, but I haven't really mentioned the whole Bryce Harper signing with Philadelphia thing in my channel videos to date. And, you know, I am excited about the fact that Philadelphia is adding a very, you know, very prominent, very kind of, maybe not famous is the right word for it. Not in the, within the baseball, Bryce Harper is famous. He is a superstar, and he does merit every bit of that signing, that deal that he just signed. But at the same time, baseball is kind of funny because nobody within the sport is really a superstar in the same way that, say, LeBron is or Tom Brady is. You don't have that same level of celebrity among baseball players outside of, say, baseball fans.
He'll start out their half of the third.
You know,
Top of the
Mike
order
Trout,
to follow.
quite possibly the best player in baseball of his generation, as well as several other generations.
First
And yet you
delivery
say
to
his
him on
name
the
to a
way.
lot of people, and they'll be like, huh?
Just
Who?
a bit high that time as he misses for a ball.
So he was early on that first pitch cutter inside. Let's try a curveball here.
Hit hard towards center.
That's swatted directly into center field, and Bradford McBride has a base hit at his first plate appearance of the game. So good for the young fella.
Digging in for his second at bat, Zach Granite. He'll look to bounce back after striking out.
Anyway, I'm excited to see what
and a curveball that
Harper
time
can do
broke
for
too
the
low.
Phillies.
Nobody out, runner on first. Counts even at 1-1 for
I'm
Granite.
excited to see what Harper can do for the Phillies, and I'm excited to see kind of the offense he can bring to the table. Mostly, I'm just excited for the new season because we've got a lineup that is a lot more...
The 1-1.
Not sure quite how to put it.
On its
We got
tailor-made
players who
short.
were a lot
6,
better suited
4,
for the positions they're
3,
getting
and they
put
turn
into.
the
Because
double
last
play.
season we had Rhys Hoskins out in left
Doesn't come
field
much easier
with
than
Carlos
that.
Santana at
Tailor-made
first. And while I understand the
6-4-3
intent
double
was
play
to
and an easy one
hide
to
the
turn.
bat of Rhys Hoskins
Digging
in the
now,
outfield
Echeverria. He's 0 for 1 after
and
grounding out in his only
take
trip to the
advantage
plate
of
so
a
far.
veteran hitter
balls and
in
one
the
strike.
infield at a position which doesn't require that much athleticism compared to other parts of the field.
The windup and the 0-1.
I think it was an experiment that didn't really work. Jackie Bradley Jr. going way back into the triangle, pulls it in out there, and that'll be the end of the third.
Twins retired in short order. They still trail 1-0.
Or rather, the middle of the third, end of the third half inning for the Twins.
Leading off the inning, Rich Kessler, as they'll look to get something going here and even this game up.
But at the same time, with the Harper signing comes the price of the signing. And it might be funny for me to say it, but I'm actually kind of glad that he got paid as much as he did and he got a contract as long as he has. Just because I'm definitely on the side of...
Now he goes the other way, and he got a
this
lot
one's
of
off
it
the monster.
high and deep to left center field. Not quite out of here. It's off the out-of-town scoreboard.
So that's going to be a nice little triple here for Rich Kessler. He's 2 for 2 on the day.
Anytime the ball is hit that hard,
And that's a man on third with nobody out.
The center fielder gives chase, but it ends up coming off the wall, and by that time, you knew it was going to be a triple.
Swats a slider on the outside half. He was late on it, so let's try a cutter perhaps up top part of the zone.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Takes a
Gets
look
the
at one,
corner.
catching the outside
0-2
corner.
count.
This is where, as a batter, you got to find a way.
So let's shoot for the strikeout here. Change up, low outside corner. Swing and a miss.
But if anything is belt
Keith
or
Gifford
above,
goes down, second time in the game.
Speed pitch that time. Keith
That'll
Gifford
be
becomes the first
one away.
out of the inning.
One of the toughest pitches to hit, the straight changeup, right? El Cambio. Hadn't seen it in that entire at bat. And what happens? Gets the string pulled on him right there. Had no chance to put that ball in play.
Into
Try
the
to
box,
cut her outside.
Mitch Garver.
Swats it
on the ground to second.
over to second. We are going to drive in a run,
To first for the out, but that'll be enough to
but
get the
Garver
run
gets
home as they
himself
pull
an
back to
RBI
even at 1-1.
ground out. Not quite a
Good job there to
sacrifice,
put the
but
ball on the ground and pick up the tying run.
still good
This
enough
one
to
has
tie up the
makings of
game.
Being a close game until the very end.
Minnesota and Boston tied at 1.
In now, Patrick Kivlahan. 0-1 the count.
Pops up the two-seamer behind
start
the
things
home
over
plate.
now with the bases empty and 2 away following the RBI ground ball. The ground.
Nice diving catch by Derek Dietrich to grab the ball, and that is going to be 3 outs. Change time for the Boston half of the fourth.
Matters here in the inning.
Beautiful play from Derek Dietrich, but no heroics in order to prevent the run. It's 1-1.
Coming to the plate now, Steve Selski, 1 for 1 after a single his first time up.
Now, Jason's been a lot less aggressive today, and I think it's partly helped him. At least he hasn't given up 3 home runs to this point.
First pitch of the at-bat.
He said just before giving up a home run.
That time, but it missed for ball 1.
Oh, I don't like that slider so much.
Starts to go around, but the home plate umpire says he held up ball 2. Selski
swing at it, but he was early on it.
A right-handed batter and thrower. He was taken in the very late rounds back in 2011.
I know this guy wouldn't go into the category of superstar.
Okay, 12-6 curveball gets kind of a sympathy call from the ump out there for a 2-1 count. Slider call is what's up. Yeah, we might as well use a little showtime on this one just to make sure we hit our spot. Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss here, 2 strikes.
Slider, so that would have been a good strikeout pitch, but let's try it again, I suppose. Swing and a miss. 2 consecutive sliders sends Steve Selski down, and that'll be 1 away.
For the strikeout there. Not a whole lot to say about that pitch that hasn't been said a million times already. That's just a real tough pitch for a hitter to pick up out of a pitcher's hand, so they end up chasing when they're in protect mode.
Now batting, third baseman, Eduardo
Stepping in now.
Okay, I
Eduardo
don't like the execution
Ramirez.
on this one.
He'll send a ground ball
But it's
down
right
third.
over to Rafael Devers.
And there's out
That'll
number
be
two.
out number 2 in the inning. That'll bring back up Bradford McBride.
Now
1
at
for
the
1
plate,
with the single in the
Bradford
third.
McBride. He singled his last time up.
Bradford McBride.
Hey, come on now.
Hey, get your pitch, see through, huh? Let's go.
First pitch.
Try a cutter
on its way.
outside.
A ball and no strikes.
No sympathy from the ump on
run,
that
5
one.
hits, and
Having
no
trouble
errors in
figuring
the
out the
ballgame for
umpire's zone,
Minnesota.
which is troublesome considering all the umpire mind are supposed to have the same zone.
Lifted down
Swats
the line and left.
that 2-seamer on the outside for a
And
1-1
that will end
count.
up a foul ball.
Call is for the same spot.
Hey, have a rip like you can. Here you go.
The 1-1
Try
home.
one in the top corner instead.
Slapped hard
That did not get to
opposite
the top
way.
corner. That
gets
one it was
down,
down,
he's
and
got
Bradford
himself a base hit.
McBride has
So the
another
two-out
shot.
base
I'm
hit,
going
and
to
the top of
continue
the
trying
inning
to
is
call
still
this guy
alive.
Bradford
Hey, you
Robinette,
know
even
what?
though he plays for
You
the
can
Rockies.
slowly start to see that batter leak out over the
Okay,
plate.
so we
That
got a
was
man on
3
first with
straight
2 away,
pitches on
and we
the
got
outer
Zach
half.
Granite back
He
to the
was able
plate.
to dive out there and get
0
out.
for 2 on the day with a strikeout.
Zach Granite the next to bat.
Grounder
Down
over
the
to
line at
Rafael
third.
Devers.
And he'll go to
And
short
that will
plate to
get the
retire
out.
the
That
side.
will
So
complete
it's no
the
runs on a
5th
hit,
for
no
Jason.
errors, and a man left. Last half of the 5th coming. Stepping into the box, Adeiny Echeverria. He comes in
Still
0 for
only the
2
1
thus
run
far.
for Boston after 5 innings.
First
So
pitch
try
of the
a first
at-bat
pitch
on its
changeup
way.
against Adeiny Echeverria.
Right
He
side,
swats
hit
it over
hard.
to second. And again, I
Throw
don't
to
recall
first
his
gets
name.
him,
It's
so the
James
leadoff
Vincent
man's
there at
retired
second.
here
I
to
will have to
begin the
find
6th.
out exactly what the deal is with Tony Kemp and Raul Mondesi, see what's going on with them. But
Stepping in, Rich Kessler. He'll swing it from the left side.
as I said,
right
Kemp
here.
has a broken
Loves
hip, I
hitting
think,
left-handed
but
off of
I don't know
right-handed
what's up with
pitchers.
Raul Mondesi.
Hitting over
why
300
we don't
against
see him
right-handed
here.
pitching.
Be interesting if we dealt him or sent him down or what.
Hey, drive that pitch, huh? Here
First
you go.
delivery
First
to
pitch
him on the way.
curveball to
Another slow
Rich
breaking
Kessler.
ball. Misses down low.
Kessler, the only one to put a run on the board for Minnesota today.
The 1-0 home is a sinker that dips below the
Oates,
zone.
2-0 count for
Boy, he
Rich
just looks
Kessler.
locked in at the plate right now to me.
So next
His
one
numbers
up
in
is going to
recent
be
games
that
have been very good,
changeup
and
on
those were
2-0.
2 stone-cold takes right there that put
See
himself
if we
in
can't
a
get
great
him to
hitter's
swing
count.
on it. We
Jumps
can, in
at
fact,
a
get him to swing on a
changeup, a
2-0
swing and a
count for
miss.
2-1.
Really feels like he's just on cruise control out there on the mound right now.
Yeah, it really does, Matt, but this offense
another
isn't
one.
helping him too much. It sort of feels like
Swing and a miss
the
on
next
one,
team to
well
score is gonna
down.
win this
So
thing.
that's
The count now
2
at
consecutive,
2-2.
but that one had good timing on it. So let's perhaps try another one, another different pitch, a more different pitch. How about that Showtime slider down and in on him? See if he will swing and miss. He will
Lifted
not,
the
in
other
fact,
way
swing and
to
miss.
left
This one's
center.
going out to the left center
And he
field.
will make the play
Jackie
out
Bradley
there, and
Jr.
there
has to
are
range
2
over
away
to
now.
grab it, and that's
So
2
he's
away.
just a third of an inning away from putting up another 0 as we take a look at the ball clubs with the lowest team ERAs. And we see that these guys are currently 2nd in the AL in that department.
And Keith Gifford
So
in dire
stepping in,
risk of
Keith
getting himself
Gifford.
another
He's
hat,
likely
or
just
getting
trying to put
himself
one
a
in
hat,
play
I
here.
guess
0
the
for
case
2
may
with
be.
a pair of strikeouts thus far.
Let's go.
First pitch coming, here it is. And a
Cutter
high
up,
strike
no
there,
swing on the first
0-1.
pitch. That's 0-1. Try a curveball, I think, on the inner corner. No swing on one that kind of sweeps well inside. Jason having a little trouble catching that one, getting on top of it. So try a 2-seamer inside instead. Swing and a miss on 1 down.
Hey, that's just
He
a
was
great
late
mix
on
of
it.
pitches right there.
So it's not quite a sinker put-out pitch, but let's see if he can get a fastball past Gifford.
And he'll
Not
hang
that
in
one,
here as
anyway.
He reaches to foul this one away.
Still late on it. So how about one above the zone now that we've changed eye levels? Put it on the top inner third, I think.
Here's another
Hopefully
1-2.
don't leave it too far over the middle of the plate. No
This
swing
one
on
well
one that
above the
was
zone for
up
a
and in.
ball.
Not quite at risk of busting his elbow, but getting kind of close. Change up, down and away. Haven't used it at this at bat. Swing and a miss. Give that man a hat. Gifford strikes out 3 times in one game to end the top of the 6th.
The score remains tied 1-1. Stepping into the box, Mitch Garver. And guys, 7th inning already.
And we're still pitching out here. We're still going. Boston's still tied. Brandon Finnegan coming into this game with a 4.13 ERA, a 4-12 record. Not exactly
they've trusted their defense to make the plays, and they've done just that.
Yeah, and it's
not exactly the lights-out pitcher you would expect to be putting up a appearance like this, with only, I think, 1 hit allowed for Boston.
Broke into the league, you wouldn't see that high heater first pitch right out of the
gate. But I think there's been he's out here doing his job, and we got to continue to come out here and do our job. So 0-2 count with that circle change. He was early on it, so I think now that we're in the 7th inning and we're running out of time, we might as well use as much showtime as we can. Showtime slider, swing and a miss. That's Mitch Garver down on strikes. And it's funny because in the AL, current strikeout leaders for the league are Chris Sale and Jason Parham. And I think when I checked last, Jason was about 10 strikeouts behind Chris Sale on the season. So we'll see if we can't bust out a few more guys while we're up here. Cutter top of the zone is what I'm going to do instead of that slider down.
Standing in now, Patrick Kivlahan.
See if we can't get a strikeout on this guy. He's got, doesn't have very good zone stuff right now. Got kind of a cold zone against righties. So I would like to keep him from putting a ball in play if at all possible, but I will take an out any way I can get it.
And he struck him
but in fact, I will strike him out.
Registers his 8th punch out of the ball game.
So 8 strikeouts in 7 innings. Not a bad showing from Jason by any stretch of the imagination. He's had a better than 9.0 strikeouts per 9 rating this whole season. He's currently at, prior to this game, a 9.42 strikeouts per 9, so better than 1 per inning. And Jason hadn't previously had that with any of his teams. You know, he was never really that much of a strikeout guy earlier in his career. He had, I think, in his rookie season, he had a 4.96 strikeouts per 9 with the Padres, so he would only strike out a guy every maybe 2 innings. Clubs that into center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. has to race over to pull it in, and that will end the inning. So 7 innings come and gone. Minnesota and Boston still tied 1-1. Jason not currently on the line for a win or a loss, but not much going on for either team at the moment. Oh, spoke too soon. Boston takes a 4-1 lead in the bottom of the 7th. Jason out here on the bump for the top of the 8th. Let's see if we can keep going. Might not be able to get a shutout. It won't be a Maddox. It certainly won't be a shutout. Maybe that was backwards.
1 out.
Selski pops one up at home plate, and that'll be the first out of the inning. 5 to go. I got that backwards. It won't be a shutout. It certainly won't be a Maddox, but we might be able to get a completo out of this one. And frankly, considering the way the rest of the season has gone from at times, I will take any good showing like this that I can get. So try change up first pitch. No swing on one that just kind of drifts outside.
8th inning, 4-1 is our score.
I think I was trying to finish my thought about Bryce Harper earlier, and basically all I had to say about him was I'm happy he got paid. I'm excited to see what he can do for the team. I'm just perhaps a little concerned about that his personality is not going to mesh all that well in Philly.
Fastball taken high for a ball.
I am a Philly fan despite not being a resident of the city, so I can't really speak to how he's going to be received by the citizens of Philadelphia or Philly fans in particular, but I know that he's got kind of a reputation for being a hothead out there on the field, and I don't know that I am all that excited about him throwing tantrums with a Phillies uniform on. That's just me, though. I want players to be able to express themselves and show some personality. By the way, Eduardo Ramirez strikes out for the second time in the game.
So yet another strong outing for him tonight as we show you the league leaders in ERA. And as you can see there, he currently leads the AL in that.
Sorry, that was not
Zach Granite, the next
Ramirez.
to bat.
That was
and they're down to their
Bradford
final
Bride,
4
I
outs
guess.
here, Dan.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for them right now, Matt. They've got a significant
2
hill
outs.
to climb, but they've got to take it one bat at a time. A couple of guys get on, and then who knows what could happen.
So, top of the zone, cut a two-seamer. No swing on one that's just ruled foul.
Ground ball foul down the left side. Bases are empty here with 2 men out.
Curveball inside.
Hit out
Over to second base, and once again, James Vincent gets the out. 86 pitches in. Jason has allowed 1 run in 8 innings on 6 hits. We'll see if they leave him out here for the 9th. They're probably going to bring in their closer, though. And indeed, it's Craig Kimbrell coming out here to the mound to finish off the 9th inning. So we'll see if the Bostons can hang on to that 3-run lead that they had at the bottom of the 8th, or if indeed at the middle of the 8th, and indeed if they managed to stretch it. Survey says
Just more of the same from Craig Kimbrell. He comes out of the bullpen and fires a scoreless 9th inning to pick up the save. Business as usual for one of the best in the game.
A 4-1 finish in this evening's game.
Well, it looks like a good haircut is really all Jason needed. He pitches for 8 innings, allowed 1 run on 6 hits, and collects 9 strikeouts in a win. He collects his 9th win on the season, going to 9-6, and he goes to 55-38 in his career. His ERA has gone to 2.33, his FIP has gone to 2.79, and his xFIP has gone to 2.97. So that's going to do it for me. Until next time, I'm Tyrant Saber, and I will see you at the ballpark.